It's a time of year to give thanks, and for the teams playing in year 3 of the SoCal Challenge, 2 victories on the wish list. First up, the Bradley Braves take on the Tulane Green Wave. Then it's the UTEP Miners and California Golden Bears. The teams have enjoyed the Southern California sunshine, and now it's time for a college hoops doubleheader. It starts now on CBS Sports Network. Welcoming you to the 2023 SoCal Challenge, the home of beaches and buckets, as we bring you college hoops from JSerra Pavillion in gorgeous San Juan Capistrano, California. Our first semifinal matchup tonight features the undefeated Bradley Braves and the Tulane Green Wave. A look at the bracket, 4 teams in the field. Up next, Cal, a new-look Golden Bears program under first-year head coach Mark Madsen, taking on 4-0 and undefeated UTEP. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SoCal Challenge with the coach Dave Miller, Chris Sylvester on hand. This is a really exciting field and a great matchup to tip things off with 2 of the better teams in college basketball these first couple of weeks.
Well, when you think of Bradley and Tulane, you've got teams that really can get out and push it offensively, and they're also elite defensively.
Malavi Leons is the reigning Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year. He's added a little bit on the offensive end this season.
Well, he's a skilled forward with a big-time motor. He can shoot spot-up threes. He can post in the paint, and he's really an elite offensive rebounder. He's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the Missouri Valley Conference, one of my favorite two-way players.
Other side, it's Jalen Forbes. Already has the most made threes in Tulane history. He's got a chance to reach 2,000 career points this season.
Well, Chris, he's the best three-point shooter to ever play at Tulane. Deep range, quick release, reach screens as good as any wing player in the country. He was the 3rd leading scorer in the American Conference last year, and he's a pit bull defensively. He sets the tone for multiple efforts and a physical mindset.
Buckets and beaches, college hoops in the SoCal Challenge. It's Tulane and Bradley. Tip off on the other side.
It's never too soon for college hoops. Don't miss the Cancun Challenge on CBS Sports Network.
These moves looking real nice in the future. Roll up on them and it look nice. Look nice. Let's go, like these moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Count the future.
On a devastating Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Whoa! That was pass interference!
That's it. Season's over.
Our program's cursed. See?
I can't watch this. Every year I fall for the preseason hype.
I made all this for nothing!
I'm never watching football again.
Hey, guys, that was the first play of the game.
Maybe we overreacted.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Geico makes car insurance easy.
Enjoy your flight.
You too.
As easy as saying the wrong thing.
Me too. Really?
What?
Dad, why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
Do I look like I'm going on vacation, sir?
It's not how airports work, man.
You could?
Dad.
Are we leaving or?
I don't even want to go on vacation anymore.
I thought I knew you.
She has hairspray that is over the limit.
With an app that puts your policy in your pocket, it's easy to Geico.
And you're not wearing socks. Get a grip, man.
Gearing up for tip time here in San Juan Capistrano. Brian Wardle in his 8th season as the Bradley Braves head coach, the former Marquette point guard. Won just 5 games in his first season at Bradley, but by year 4 had him back in the big dance, and this is as talented as any starting 5 in the Missouri Valley Conference this year.
Well, when you think of Dean and Hickman, 2 veteran guards that think like the coaches on the floor.
On the other side, Ron Hunter in his 5th season. He has completely built this Tulane program from the ground up. His starting 5 features a lot of returners from a 20-win team last season. A couple of key transfer portal additions as well.
Well, they are, and this is an up-tempo group. 5 guys on the floor that can all dribble, pass, and shoot.
26th year for Ron Hunter as a Division I head coach. A journey that started at IUPUI, then to Georgia State, where he put himself on the college basketball map, and now at Tulane, the Green Wave, the preseason pick to finish 3rd in the American Conference this year. Off we go in the 2023 SoCal Challenge. Bradley has the night's first possession. The Braves have opened 3-0. They've already played a pair of overtime games and a couple of quality wins, including an overtime winner at UAB, an American Athletic Conference school, on opening night. Shot clock in his single digits for the Braves. 25 wins a season ago. Hickman drives, hands it off underneath, and Darius Hanna likes the lane.
Well, I like the penetration. He was able to draw multiple defenders for the easy dish off. It's going to be very difficult for Bradley to get into that lane versus that matchup defense.
Bradley was 19-1 last season, scoring 70 or more, and you figure points won't be at a premium in this game. Jalen Forbes hits a 3 for Tulane, and it hangs off the iron on the other end for Christian Davis. He will take the game's first 2 free throws. 5th all-time meeting between these programs, first one since 1984, and it's not the first meeting between Ron Hunter and Brian Wardell. When Hunter was at Georgia State, Wardell at Green Bay, they faced off a couple of times.
Well, it always makes you think back to Coach Hunter when his son RJ was playing for him at Georgia State. Remember, he used to wheel around. He had a leg problem, almost like an Achilles, and he was in that little scooter. He's come a long way, and he's put in a lot of time honing his craft.
Christian Davis at the free throw line, 2nd season at Bradley after a year at Lemoyne. First ever Bradley basketball player from the state of Colorado. And for Bradley, it's first game in the state of California tonight since a December 2017 trip down south to San Diego State. Aztecs will be talked about a lot this week. They'll be here for the SoCal Showcase against Cal on Saturday. Forbes has the first 5 for Tulane.
I tell you, Forbes is just one of those players, a transfer from Alabama originally. He's got the green light, but likes to put it on the floor and get paint.
Hickman through the contact, and it swirls out. Connor Hickman can give Bradley a couple more free throws as you get a look at Jalen Forbes. And look, when he first got to campus after that initial season at Alabama, Ron Hunter said the only thing he could do was shoot. But as he's developed throughout his time, he's been able to score in a multitude of ways, and he's showcased that already a couple possessions in.
Well, he can, because you got to play up for the catch and shoot. You've got to cushion the drive, and he also moves extremely well without the ball. Tulane today at the shoot-around was very good at spacing, timing, cutting, looking for easy baskets.
Ron Hunter digging into his bench early. Greg Glenn III, a transfer from Michigan, replaces Colin Holloway. That last foul on the floor. 2-point lead early for Tulane. Green Wave off to a 3-0 start, averaging more than 90 points for their first 3. A running hook left short by Leons. We featured him at the opening. He's just improved so much from last season to this season on the offensive end. Coach Wardle feels like he's got a chance to repeat as Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Again, a lead offensive rebounder and getting so good offensively.
Late whistle, and Tulane will get a couple free throws as we take a look at Coach's keys.
Well, for Bradley, it's easy. It's transition defense. They got to get back, get turned, make it a half-court game. And then Bradley's got to push the pace, beat Tulane's zone down the floor. For Tulane, they're going to create chaos, pressure, push it, get layups and dunks, and then they've got to defend the 3, Chris. They've got to locate open shooters, be there on the catch, make them bounce it into a crowd.
Kobe King misfires in the first of 2 free throws.
He really impressed me. He didn't get much run at St. John's in the Big East, but he's a 3-level scorer. He can play the 1 and the 2, and you watch him, he's cat quick.
Appeared in 25 games under the previous regime at St. John's last season before Rick Pitino and company got there. Ron Hunter calls him the quickest kid he's ever coached in 30 years. It's pretty high praise.
Quite a statement. And like I said, this morning at the shoot-around, one of the quickest guys I've ever seen, and I've coached a couple in the NBA.
Hickman drives, lost the handle, has it knocked away, and taken away. A steal for Colby King, and it rolls around and in.
What makes him hard to guard is that he can shoot the three, and he's got deep range, but he's got that quick first step. He plays with the low center of gravity to create separation.
3 points early for King as Leons is fouled by Glenn.
You know, the thing about this team is King has great speed. You can see right there, he's just active, creating havoc, and then just chases the ball. And I love the way he uses his body to shield the defender in order to get the ball up on the square.
Malavi Leons, a fifth-year senior from the Netherlands, his third season at Bradley. Started in junior college at Mineral Area College. 24 points, 14 rebounds on opening night. And a big win in Birmingham over UAB.
Well, Chris, you talked about him getting better offensively. He's the reigning defensive player of the year last year in the Missouri Valley and never fouled out of the game, so he knows how to defend without fouling.
Forbes lets it go. That one pops out.
I like this push game. I want to see Bradley get the ball up, but now they're facing 10 eyeballs. They've got to get easier baskets.
Duke Dean misses the fadeaway triple.
Not a good shot. Got it. Could have got that shot any time in the clock.
Quick triggers on both ends. A pretty quick pace through the opening minutes here. 3-point lead for Tulane. Glenn with the up fake, and he finishes off the glass. Ray Glenn III had 3 points last time out at Friday, a blowout win at home over Sacramento State. Transferred from Michigan, appeared in just 4 games in Ann Arbor last year, but Ron Hunter really likes his potential as Darius Hannah flips it in off the glass.
Love the paint penetration. They're able to find the crevices and the cracks in that matchup zone. Bradley doing a good job getting paint.
Hannah, the longest tenured Brave, his 84th game in a Bradley uniform tonight. Forbes misses, and here comes Christian Davis. 3-point lead for the Green Wave. Tulane playing its first game in the Golden State tonight in more than a decade. Got to go back to December 2012, last time Tulane played a basketball game here in California. Mid-range for Duke Dean, and it's off the heel. Here comes Sion James, a man Ron Hunter calls the president.
I want to see a little bit more defensive discipline. Don't leave your feet. Don't let the offensive player's shoulders get by yours on defense.
Kevin Cross falling away right over Duke Dean, and that's money.
That's a mismatch. We call that a mouse in the house. If you're a teammate, you got to see him barkling him or bullying him down. You got to help him.
Hickman given space. And the ball batted out, last touched by the Green Wave. It will stay here with Bradley. 12-7 early. Tulane, beaches and buckets, just getting started in the 2023 SoCal Challenge on CBS Sports Network.
We're lucky to have this team working for us. Our therapists give their all each day by helping those who need it most. We take great pride, not just in the job our team does, but in them as people, our people. And while we're in the business of taking care of others, it's important our therapists know that with benefits from Principal, they're taken care of too.
You know when you have those moments, that time to reflect, to be like, wow, what did I do to get here? Right, work. You worked hard, and it's time for a bank that'll work hard for you. Everbank brings security and a guarantee that you'll earn a yield in the top 5% of competitive accounts. Going got you where you want to be. We're the partners for your next move. Everbank. Advantage you.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by In at the Mission San Juan Capistrano Autograph Collection, by TCS, Transportation Charter Services, and by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business.
Well, settling in here at JSerra Pavillion in San Juan Capistrano, California. A 5-point lead for Tulane. A couple of undefeated teams locking horns here in the semifinal round of the SoCal Challenge. Up next, we'll bring you UTEP and Cal. The consolation game and the championship set for Wednesday. 8 of Tulane's first 12 in the paint, Coach.
Well, it starts with their defense. They're in that funky matchup zone. 22% of their defensive possessions create turnovers, which creates easy offense.
Ahmet Janovic, 7-footer, has checked in for Bradley, and he gets tied up. Possession arrow points the way of the Green Wave.
See, what I don't like about that, post players can't expose the ball. You've got to catch it. Now, he's got it there, but he exposes it. He needs to keep that ball between his ear and his chin, extend his elbows, I call them chicken wings, and protect his verticality or his cylinder.
Janovic, the 7'1" sophomore from Serbia, provides a lot of beef on the inside for Bradley. A steal for the Braves.
You mentioned the beef. We had some good barbecue here.
Yes, we did.
This SoCal Challenge, you said it, beaches, buckets, and good food.
Shout out Naples, man. Naples has the best ribs around these parts. Got us feasting for some college hoops tonight. And a foul on the inside. Glenn, who had the tie-up with Janovic moments ago, whistled for the reach-in foul.
Well, with Janovic, I'd like to see him move his man up the lane. Post players need to post with their lower body, not with just their arm bar. I mean, there's only one guy I remember that can post like that, Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA. I mean, there might be one, Yao Ming, but usually you've got to move your man up so that the guard has a trajectory to put the ball up and over.
Glenn picking up his second foul. And forced to sit here with 14:30 on the first half clock.
If you're Bradley, you don't want to play sideline to sideline. You want to penetrate with the dribble or the pass and stretch that zone defense like a rubber band. Loosen it up, break the elasticity.
Late in the clock, Leon's off balanced and it rolls out. He's missed his first 2 attempts. The Braves have opened 2 for 8. Off the front of the iron. King misses his first attempt from deep.
And really one of the first perimeter jumpers. They've been getting their points in the paint. Easy transition.
A teardrop for Duke Dean.
Well, Duke Dean's another hard guard because 60% of his shots are threes, but he can put it on the floor. But here you see the nice little hesitation to set up the drive. And you got to be like a elevator doors. You've got to have 2 defenders that have to close down that tunnel. They were a day late, $1 short. Easy drive, easy score.
Duke Dean, a 5'8" senior guard from Shreveport in Louisiana. The Sun Belt Freshman of the Year a couple seasons ago at Troy. He was on the All-Missouri Valley newcomer team in his first season at Bradley last year.
And so warranted. He made 73 pointers last year. You know, in that first UAB game, which they won, he was 4 for 8 from 3. So he's really a threat inside and with the dribble drive.
Now Bradley's a good 3-point shooting team, averaging close to 11 makes per game in the early season. Here's a steal for Leons. He goes coast to coast and draws a foul. So Malavi Leons will take 2 more free throws for the Bradley Braves.
Really like the way he used the anticipation, was able to pick it off for a steal and then use his length once he got into the lane and draw the contact.
Leons, a 5th-year senior from the Netherlands, mentioned a couple of times he won the Defensive Player of the Year in the Missouri Valley Conference last season. He became the first ever player in conference history to record more than 50 blocks and 50 steals in a season. How would you not give him that award?
Right. I mean, going away hands down. And I'll tell you what impressed me this afternoon at the shoot-around. I mentioned in the open he has a high motor. He only knows one speed, and it's game speed, and I think it's contagious. As he goes, this team goes.
Almar Atlason has checked in for Bradley. A good three-point shooter. Hit 6 of them last time against Tarleton State.
You know what's interesting about Tulane? Crosses their 5-man and he initiates the offense. It's almost like Jokic or a Draymond Green in the NBA, having your 5-man set the table.
Trey Williams lets it fly and buries the 3. The senior from Dallas in his second year at Tulane.
Good to see him get off early. Remember, he missed the last 13 games last year. He's getting off to a good start. They're going to need him to make a good conference run.
Dropped a dozen off the bench in the final pre-SoCal Challenge game last Friday against Sac State. Leons from distance. He missed it. An offensive rebound ripped down by Demarion Birch. And the freshman with some second chance points as he hands off to Darius Hannah for 2.
Bradley doing a great job of getting in the lane on the other end of the floor.
Offensive foul charge to Tulane.
You know, Williams, again, the nice little shot fake there to get the dribble drive. Feet are set, palms were to the passer, easy catch and shoot.
5 fouls now on the Green Wave.
Well, when you play at that chaotic pace and you're reaching and you're grabbing and you're stabbing, you want to defend without fouling. You don't want to get the other team into the bonus early.
Dean whips it across the floor. Leons for 3, and it pops out. Sion James, the Tulane rebound. Haven't called his name much in the early going, averaging 15 points per game through Tulane's first 3. And foul on the floor as Kevin Cross, 6'8" senior forward, gets reached in on.
I like to call him, Chris, a stat sheet stuffer. I mean, he impacts the game. He doesn't have to score. You know, he's very, very efficient. He rebounds. And, you know, the biggest thing with him is foul prone. They need him on the floor. When he goes out, their offense slows down a little bit.
Cross having a monster start to the season. 17 points and 6 of 6 shooting from the free throw line last time against Sac State. And that's a shooting foul. Jalen Forbes will get 3 free throws on the other side. Tight one here in the SoCal Challenge. Tulane leads by 2.
A game of honor. The Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Saturday, December 9th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Does RexMD really work? Over 85% of patients said, not only does it work, they saw results the very first night. Get your starter pack at RexMD.com and see your results the first night.
Uncommon Goods scours the universe to find gifts you didn't know existed. Gifts that warm hearts and hands, let imaginations take flight, and always amaze and delight. Shop thoughtfully at uncommongoods.com.
Parenting is hard. Technology can make it harder. The Family Media Plan developed by the American Academy of Pediatrics helps make it easier. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan to create the media plan that's right for your family. Raising kids in the age of screens is easier when you have a plan. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan today.
Paramount Plus is kicking off a great Black Friday offer.
Surprise!
Starting at $1.99 per month for 3 months, you get all of this. For this.
That is insanity.
Talk about a win.
We're going to change the world.
You up for the task? I wouldn't be sitting here my Sunday best if I wasn't.
This Black Friday offer ends December 3rd.
Your time starts now.
Paramount Plus. Stream now.
Oh, Well, tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern, catch Game 2 of the SoCal Challenge. It's Cal and UTEP right here on CBS Sports Network. The Golden Bears, with a win tonight, would match their win total from all of last season. Their first-year head coach, Mark Madsen, a big reason why.
Well, he is, and he's one of my top new coaches in the country. And when you look at my list, I want to start out with Ed Cooley at Georgetown. Can he bring the Hoyas back to relevance? And then Rick Pitino, legendary X&O college and NBA guy. He just cleaned house. Mark Madsen, the Mad Dog, is back in the Pac-12, the Bay Area. He's got his work cut out for him. They've got to stay healthy, but can his energy be contagious? And then I like Autry at Syracuse taking over for the legend Jim Boeheim. You're going to see a little bit more man-to-man other than that Archman 2-3 zone. And then Shrewsbury, great job at Penn State. But can he carry that over into a new job in Notre Dame? Because Mike Bray had a heck of a run.
Yeah, Notre Dame picked up a nice victory over the weekend on a neutral floor over Oklahoma State. So many great first-year coaches this season in college basketball. Brian Wardle's in his 8th year. Last season's Missouri Valley Coach of the Year. Led the Braves to a regular season conference title for the first time since 1996.
I remember him as a player. I mean, just tough as nails. He was with Dwayne Wade at Marquette in that Prop 48 year, so never got to play with him, but he practiced against him every day. I'm sure that helped him become a better player.
19 to shoot for Bradley off the deflection. Braves have opened 4 of 13 from the field. We mentioned how good they are from the perimeter, close to 11 makes per game. They've missed their first 4 attempts from the long line.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Tulane wants. They want to have them shoot from the perimeter. The Green Wave has to do a better job of sealing off that lane, building a wall, and not allowing penetration where a lot of their points have come from.
Hickman across the floor. Leon sets up Birch out of the shot fake, and he came off the ground. Whistled for travel.
I like the way Tulane scrambles, and they cover so much ground with their length, their athleticism. But KYP, know your personnel. If you're going to close out and you think Leons is going to shoot the 3, you have to come with high hands, but you also have to cushion the drive.
Third Bradley turnover. They average around 14 a game. 4-point lead for Tulane.
I like the talk, Chris, of this Bradley team. A quiet defense is a bad defense.
James sets up Forbes. And the rebound taken by Leons, averaging more than 9 per game. They do it all forward for the Bradley Braves. Preseason pick to finish 3rd. And what's always seems to be an underrated Missouri Valley Conference. Drake and Northern Iowa picked ahead of them in the preseason poll. Leons misses from deep again. Here comes Trey Williams. King watched by Hickman. A step back. Off the side of the glass, offensive rebound. Shot clock didn't reset. Percy Daniels on a short jump shot. Forbes trying to stick with it, and he's fouled.
Well, that's just what Bradley cannot allow. They've got to make this one and done. They've got to, a shot goes up, you can't go get the basketball. You've got to find a body. I mean, right there, it's a long rebound, but nobody's right in there. You've got to find a white jersey, and it doesn't have to be your man, but it's got to be a man, and you've got to hit first, release, and then secure the ball, because they had some really good sequences right there of individual defense, but it's all for naught if you give up an offensive rebound.
Jalen Forbes came into the night just a dozen points shy of 1,500 at Tulane. All-American Athletic Conference selection each of the last 3 seasons. Talked about this at the Open, Coach. One-time program leader in main threes, but he's also top 10 in career points per game, 11th in scoring, and has a chance to reach 2,000 career points, something that's only been done once in the history of Tulane basketball.
Quite an accomplishment, and I mean, you just look anywhere on the floor that he can score, and then when you add that he's a pit bull defensively and he communicates, it makes him a player that is a force to be reckoned with in that conference.
Forbes goes 1 for 2. He's got 8 of Tulane's first 18. 5-point lead for the Green Wave. Birch flashes, takes it to the cup, and floats it in for 2.
I mean, that freshman from Milwaukee, that was a heck of a move, Chris. All of a sudden, he just put it on the floor, and he got to right where he wanted to go. No resistance. That's going to be a problem for Tulane on that end of the floor. floor.
A top 10 recruit in the state of Wisconsin coming out of high school as Forbes is whistled for the offensive foul.
Look at Birch right here. Hickman, they make the extra pass. It's a nice little fake to the baseline, puts it on the floor, and he sees nothing but real estate, and he gobbles it up.
Birch will head to the bench.
Number 23, Percy Daniels.
Dean, after a short rest, checks back in for Bradley. A Bradley program that has won 20 or more games 4 out of the last 6 seasons. Ryan Wardle has turned this program into a well-oiled machine. Leons for 2.
Excuse me, they're doing everything that Coach Wardle had them work on the shoot-around. The spacing has been good, the timing of the cuts, they're picking that matchup zone apart.
James weaving through traffic. Williams around the shot fake. Daniels with a right-hand hook shot. Percy Daniels, at one time a Seton Hall commit, decommitted when Coach Willard left for Maryland last offseason. And Ron Hunter and company fortunate to have him. Only appeared in 4 games before suffering a season-ending injury last year. So in a lot of ways, this is his first college season.
I like the poise and the patience that we've seen. You know, Tulane, they want to speed you up. And again, there's the pace. Just catch, shot fake, and just takes his time. He's poised and he's able to go up and he keeps his chin on the rim for the easy finish. But back to my point, Tulane, their method of operation is to speed you up. I like the poise and the patience we've seen by the Bradley Braves.
Tulane substitutions, number 5, Colin Holloway, replacing James.
Colin Holloway, who started for Tulane, has checked back in. And some more size out there for Bradley with the 7'1" center Hamid Jonovic back on the floor. And Williams reached in on and fouled. That goes on Elmore Atlason.
Key to defense, you've got to slide your feet. You've got to beat the dribbler to the spot. And on any penetration where they get a slight angle, you've got to absorb contact on your chest.
Number 2, Marion Ellis, replacing Atlason.
Marion Ellis back on the floor for Atlason, who just picked up the personal. Forbes at the free throw line, picked up by Hickman, turns around and hits the jump shot.
Good defense, better offense. There's nothing else you can do on that shot with that elevation and high release.
Forbes the first into double figures on either side with 10 points. 2 shy of 1,500 in a Green Wave uniform. Hickman on the blow by, and that's a goaltend.
Well, as I mentioned before, Chris, Bradley doing a great job of getting into the lane, and you saw Hickman there with that low center of gravity, a combo guard that just started low, finished high, got it up on the glass.
Kevin Cross touched it a little too late.
Little full court press right here by the Bradley Braves.
About a 2,000-mile trip for Bradley from home in Peoria, Illinois. Holloway had it for a moment. It's stripped and taken away.
Tulane does a good job of getting back, getting turned, not letting them get an easy basket.
Dean steps into a 3. Hard off the heel. Leons with a second chance.
Connor Hickman with the stab to keep it alive.
Ellis misses the leaner. Jonovic. Third opportunity. This one falls.
I just like the relentless effort on the offensive glass. If you're Coach Ron Hunter, you got to wonder, where's the block out? Who's hitting first on that defensive rebounding end?
Hamid Jonovic with a fantastic story on how he got to Bradley. And he started playing basketball at 15 years old. A King with a strong move to the rim. And on the follow-up, he's fouled.
Did you see that athleticism on that drive down the lane? Gets the shot up and gets it in. But when you talk about perseverance, look at the drive. Shot goes up, you catch it, it's the big man. Bradley making a run with the easy deuce. We got a good one here.
Let's do another round. You can do it. In this clinic, we pride ourselves on putting others first. It's on us to help care for our clients' well-being. to help them adapt. It's inspiring to work at a place where our patients succeed and we as therapists do too. With great benefits from Principal, we feel appreciated for the work we do.
future.
22-21, Tulane on top of Bradley, our first of two SoCal Challenge semifinals tonight, and no surprise to see Jalen Forbes leading the way for the Green Wave.
Well, when you have the green light, you can score from so many spots on the floor, and they know where to find their guy. He's 3 for 6 from the field, shooting 50%. He's got a game-high 10 points. And again, he doesn't have to catch and shoot. He moves extremely well without the ball. He knows how to read screens. And again, it's the patience and the poise. And what do? When you got Connor Hickman at 6'3" on you, you just go up and you shoot it over him.
Knocked down his 224th career three-pointer. Tops all time at Tulane, a program that has been revived under Ron Hunter, the 59-year-old out of Miami, Ohio. Took over this program 5 seasons ago. They were winless in conference play. Got him up to 20 victories last season, posting a 12-6 record in the American.
Well, that's what's exciting. You know, the 20-win season, and then he returns 60% of their scoring. 3 of their top 4 scorers return. And what they really do is they take a good high percentage shots because they create it off their defense and they take care of the basketball.
2-point lead for the Green Wave.
I like the spacing. I like the timing of this Bradley offense. They really haven't got sped up.
High post Jonovic as the shot clock dives into single digits. Dean with a hand in his face. It's tapped out. Hickman snares it. A second effort here for Bradley.
And I like the multiple efforts on the offensive glass for Bradley.
Braves still empty from the perimeter, 0 for 7. Hickman drives and kicks. Leon steps to his left. Ellis side pocket. Too strong.
And everything went well in that possession except for the main shot. Love the shot fake, the extra pass, the ball is popping.
Very uncharacteristic to see this Bradley team struggling so much from the three-point line. Hit 17 of them last Friday at home. Jonovic feeds Leons, and this game's tied.
Big time pass, going inside, throwing the ball away from the defense, and he caught the ball with his eyes, was able to catch, collect, easy deuce.
Jonovic joined Bradley about halfway through last year, never visited. It was just a FaceTime call that he had set up with the coaching staff, and then he got on that long flight from Serbia. Now he's a big piece for this Braves program.
Boy, have times changed since I got into college basketball. I had to make those trips to all those foreign countries. Now you're telling me you can do it on an iPhone?
Just a quick FaceTime session was all that Bradley's coaching staff needed to sell Hamit Jonovic on. Grew up in the same small town in Serbia as the NBA All-Star Vlade Divac. How about that?
Well, I tell you, and skill, a little bit more skilled than Vlade, because that last replay we just saw, that was a high degree of difficulty pass to get it on the opposite of the defensive side to Leons for him to be able to catch it. Great assist.
Sion James at the free throw stripe for Tulane, the American Conference leader in minutes per game last season. doesn't sit much, averaged more than 37 a night, and had his second 21-point game of the early season last time out.
Chris, look at his body. I mean, trust me, positionless basketball is what we play now, but he, for easy reasons, would be a point guard. He's 6'6", and he had 25 blocks a year ago, and he's a guy that punishes. I mean, he's got an NBA body.
You know, he played football and basketball in high school. It was an ACL injury after his freshman season in high school that made him focus on basketball a little bit more. But, I mean, you look at that body and you think, hey, that might belong on the gridiron, as Jalen Forbes is fouled again.
Well, I could think of a couple teams in the SEC that would have had a great interest in that young man.
And how about Tulane's football team? They picked up that big New Year's Six bowl game win over Caleb Williams and USC last year. Top 25 in the country right now. Willie Fritz has done a terrific job with the Tulane football program. He and Ron Hunter are very close and always supporting each other. More free throws for Forbes. Already his 6th attempt. This next one will be number 7.
Well, you know, we had mentioned earlier when I said when you watch this Tulane team play, it's like the Denver Nuggets with Cross as their Jokic. But I just like it the way he initiates the offense, he passes and he creates, he's unselfish. And if you watch him play, he really understands the angles. To me, and I don't know him, but it appears he has a very high basketball IQ.
He's attempted 7 free throws in this first half, now a point shy of 1,500. Picked up by Percy Daniels and turns it over. Trey Williams, the leather larceny for the Green Wave.
Skilled face-up player, bad decision on that pass that time.
Williams on the attack, off the window and in, and give him one on the house.
Well, I like the way Williams kept his drive going, and he was able to just slither through the lane. There you see he puts it on the floor. He got the angle. It was very easy against the 6'8" freshman trying to guard him. Almar's got to get there and square him up and pin him to the sideline. And the big fella did a great job on the dribble drive getting to the rim.
The well-traveled Trey Williams, second year at Tulane after a year at Oregon State and a couple seasons at a high school at Minnesota. Caps the three-point play with a free throw make. And Tulane has stretched this lead to 6. Birch on the attack, couldn't get it. The putback goes for Christian Davis.
Well, the one thing that will be addressed in that Tulane locker room are the second chance scoring opportunities that Bradley has gotten in this first 20 minutes.
Davis was impressive, 16.6 rebounds in his first career start last time. Rewarded with another start tonight. Reach-in foul on the freshman Birch will put Forbes back at the free throw line. Coming up, AT&T at the half with Brett Stover, Roy Hibbert, Steve Lapis, and Gary Parrish in our New York studios. A lot of great college hoops this time of year, and the SoCal Challenge has become a regular part of it, the 3rd annual event, and it's only getting better year by year. What a terrific destination this is for some great college basketball teams to get a little time away from their respective regions, some bonding time off the floor, some beach time when they're not playing in this gymnasium.
Well, there's just so many things to do. I mean, for the people that are watching this back on the East Coast and the Midwest, it's right in between, halfway, almost between LA and San Diego. If you were ever to dream, where could I go on vacation? I mean, there's so many things to do. I mean, this location, there's major airports all around that you can fly in. You can go to the beach. You can go whale watching. I mean, this is a destination spot to have the best teams in the country come and play, Chris.
Jalen Forbes has reached 1,500 career points in a Tulane uniform in this first half. Green Wave by 6 again. Birch on the crossover, jump stop, tried to dump it inside. Hanna recovers. It hit the rim, so the shot clock resets. Hickman, corner pop. It's good. Bradley's first triple.
That all started with the penetration up top. Anytime a guard penetrates the middle, the defense is affected. That set up Hickman. And again, for shooters, I watch their feet and I watch the ball into their hands. Picture perfect shot.
The junior from Bloomington, Indiana, delivers Bradley's first perimeter make. The Braves had missed their first 8. Tough turnaround jump shot missed by Colby King.
Again, Hickman does good on the other end, and that was great defense on this end. Hickman, a very good two-way player.
Connor Hickman breaks the ice from deep.
Oh, you see, penetrate, lock, loaded. We got a ball game at the SoCal Challenge.
There's no Belichickery here.
When Sunday football isn't enough.
Dislike that take.
Great take.
That other pregame show will put you over the tops.
I'm all in. Let's go viral here.
Every Sunday, all the insight you need on CBS Sports Network.
On a Heartbreaking Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
So this is goodbye?
Tech's moving to a new conference.
So we're not rivals anymore? What about our history?
This realignment's bigger than us both, but here, I got you something to remember me by.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar?
0. Like the odds of you making the playoff. Gotta go.
I'll always hate you and your overrated school.
I'll hate yours too.
We're still gonna out-recruit you.
We have higher academic standards.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use for a future pizza emergency. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Only at Domino's.
Fire it up, Randy.
That's how you make it. Like it never even happened.
Serve Pro.
See you tomorrow.
3-point lead for Tulane over Bradley down the stretch of the opening half. CBS Sports recognizes Native American Heritage Month, the time to honor the culture, traditions, and achievements of the nation's original citizens. 6 straight for Bradley within 3, and they finally knocked one down from deep.
Well, I like the 3 ball, but what got them back into the game are their 20 points in the paint. When you look at it, they've got a total of 28 points, and 20 of them have come in the lane. So instead of settling, and the 3 ball is big, but, you know, I don't believe in shooting your way back into it, Chris, right? You got to work your way inside out. Get you some layups, get a dunk, get a mid-range, and then work your way out, and then maybe that rim just opens up. But the more you miss, that cylinder gets smaller and smaller. You got to do a good job of opening it up with high percentage shots, and they've done it.
Around the world and down for Darius Hannah at the free throw stripe. Talked about stat sheet stuffers earlier. Last time in 22 minutes against Tarleton, 6 points, 6 assists, a career high 10 rebounds.
But what I liked about him, he hit that overtime winner versus UAB with 2.8 seconds. That was a big-time shot.
And Bradley came back their next game and beat a tournament team from a season ago, Utah State, in overtime at home.
Well, you mentioned it, 2 teams that are 3-0 undefeated. This is a good game, and it hasn't let us down thus far.
Bradley in his own defense here, Coach.
So what you want to do is you want to penetrate the seams right there. Good look, but King wasn't squared up. You got to square your shoulders on that little gimme.
A nice feed from Sion James, and a quick foul going the other way will put Marion Ellis at the free throw line.
So here you see, there's the transition. Now he gets fouled. It's an easy call for the Zebras, but what I liked about that is Bradley beat Tulane down the floor, and I'd like to see more of that. That's going to give them paint scores, which they've been great at the last 5 to 6 minutes, and it also gives them a chance to beat that zone down the floor, and that's half the battle when you play Tulane, when they're trying to create havoc, and they're in that matchup zone.
Third first half foul picked up by Colin Holloway, averaging more than 14 points per game for Tulane coming in. Be interesting to see how Ron Hunter handles that after the break. 31's on the board. Final 2:40. Cross, tough take, and it drops. Field goal, and the the foul for Kevin Cross.
Well, in the NBA, we always say no babies allowed. Just look at him strong on the dribble drive. Never takes his eye off the target until it goes through. Another look on that angle. He covets contact. He absorbs contact, and it's an easy finish in the lane.
Kevin Cross, 5th season of college hoops, 4th at Tulane after a year at Nebraska. He's been on the all-conference team each of the last 2 years. 85% free throw shooter.
He's been living at the free throw line, and that just shows his aggressiveness and his ability to manipulate the Bradley defense.
This Tulane team, they average about 25 free throw attempts per game. They welcome the contact. 2.5 minutes left to play in the opening 20. Hickman picked up by King, takes him down the lane and misses the left-hand layup. Hannah grabs a second chance. Birch with a nice find inside, and Leon scores off the window.
You know, that's a great pass in itself, but when you have a freshman that makes that pass, that's one of the best passes of the first 20 minutes.
Ryan Wardle and his coaching staff absolutely delighted to have Demarion Birch not only this season, but for years to come as Tulane turns it over.
Well, here you look, Birch, a no-look one-hand pass, and lands is at the right place at the right time in a seam versus that matchup zone. I'll tell you what, this Bradley team is energized right now. A little bit slow start, but they've got into a rhythm of trying to get into the paint with paint scores.
Hickman gets into the paint again. Spins to his left and drops it in.
He plays hard, he's physical. I mean, you look at Hickman, he's got to be a beast in the weight room. You can't be his size, 6'3", and do what he's doing with physicality.
A rejection for Leons. Here comes Bradley with numbers. Ellis hits the trailer. Hickman buries the three. Timeout, Ron Hunter. Bradley has jumped in front. 90 seconds left in the opening 20, and the Braves have a 4-point lead.
Why do I choose a sleep number smart bed? So I can keep them all guessing. So I know their game better than they do. So I can take my game to the next level. Because when your bed is this smart, you sleep at the right temperature all night. That's why 80% of NFL players choose the Sleep Number Smart Bed.
Bradley starting to heat up. Connor Hickman, a pair of triples down the stretch of this first half, and the Braves have gone in front, their largest lead here in the opening 20.
I'll tell you what I like about their offense. I mean, this is a team that really runs their half-court sets to perfection, but they're willing to play fast, and they're spreading the floor. They hit that threes. You know, they've got their layups, and I really think it starts with the veteran backcourt, Dean and Hickman. It's just the spacing, the ball is popping, they're moving it, they're sharing it. It's really been sort of a clinic, and it doesn't surprise me because that's the way they went through shoot-around. They're on a business trip. Even though it's beaches and buckets, this is a big game. And in March, one of these two teams is going to look. This is an RPI game.
Absolutely. Bradley, a top 70 net team last year. Tulane felt like if a couple results fell their way last season, they would have been on the bubble.
No question.
They beat Memphis twice in the regular season before the Tigers ended their season in the American tournament. 5 to shoot. Cross steps back and left it short. See if Bradley goes 2 for 1. High post, Hannah.
Talked about him being a face-up guy. That's the 4th or 5th time that he's got into the lane. That was the first time from the right-hand side of the floor we've seen 3 or 4 on this left side.
A soft southpaw touch. And now 7 seconds separate the big clock and the small clock here in the SoCal Challenge. Bradley has flipped the script down the stretch. 7 straight for the Braves. And trying to lock up on defense one more time in the first half. James dishes. Williams flashes. Now he lets it go. He misses the 3. And a foul on Bradley with 7.4 And Tulane will take a couple more free throws.
Well, what a turnaround in terms of Bradley getting familiar out there. And I know one thing, if Hershey Hawkins is out there tonight watching this game, he's my favorite Bradley alumni. And I got to throw in Jim Les. Jim Les coaches at UC Davis and does a great job. But Hershey Hawkins has got to be happy right now at the turn of events for his Braves.
Yeah, Jim Les took Bradley to the Sweet 16 in the early 2000s. Does a terrific job here in California, up north in Davis, not far from Sacramento.
Well, he's telling me he dresses good. He's got that good white hair, and he can still shoot it.
If you ever watch Jim Les coach, he keeps his hands behind his back while he coaches. Almost such an elegant look, the way he looks up and down the floor as he coaches a college basketball game.
You sure he just maybe forgot his belt?
maybe he constantly forgets that. All right, final moments of the opening half. Duke Dean pleading for timeout, and the clock dwindles to 3.8. Much to the dismay of Brian Wardle. We'll see what he draws up in the final moments of the first half.
Thank you to JSerra Catholic High School. SoCal Challenge.
The buzzer beater, that moment when time stands still. Our collective breath held as the ball hovers above the rim. But almost a third of those shots were set up by a passer who made the smart choice. Throwing an assist takes trust, IQ, and total confidence in your decision. And the greatest one? My pass to Leitner in '92 wasn't too bad. Continental, the smart choice in tires.
We got 3 seconds.
40 in the point column for Bradley. They have a 4-point lead over Tulane at the half. First of 2 games we'll bring you tonight on CBS Sports Network. Our late night cap features the California Golden Bears and the UTEP Miners. All right, 3.8. Bradley's got a lot of options. Where do you go, Coach?
Well, just stick with the script. There's no reason to change. You want to spread this thing out right now. Look for some dribble drives, penetrate kick, or finish at the cup. Nice little flare right there.
And Duke Dean had a good look, but it ricochets off the front of the iron, and that is how the first half comes to an end. An up and down opening 20 here in San Juan Capistrano. Bradley leads by 4 at the break. Beaches and buckets. 1 half down in the semifinal round of the SoCal Challenge.
As the head of HR, I help lead a successful home security firm. Our teams work hard to secure our customers' most valuable assets. And while they do that, I work hard to secure ours. Our people. That's why we chose Principal to provide the benefits and retirement plan that show our people just how much we appreciate them. Benefits help us keep top talent. Hi, Mom. Benefits help us grow, because we know how important security is to all.
Behold, a new breed, ready to swarm, ready to sting. The defiant, power-packed, all-new hybrid electric Dodge Hornet RT. Performance electrified.
Ooh, likey, me want chef's kiss. Ooh, likey, me want chef's kiss. Ooh, yummy, yeah, I like this. Ooh, yummy.
Mental health and learning disorders are the most common illnesses of childhood and adolescence. 1 out of 5 young people struggle with disorders like depression, dyslexia, ADHD, OCD, eating disorders, and anxiety. I was one of them. As a child, I struggled with crippling anxiety, the most common and least recognized childhood mental health disorder. The mental health crisis in America is really a children's mental health crisis. Every year, over 1 million young people visit the ER because of suicidal ideation and suicide attempts. 5,000 die by suicide. When we ignore mental health, we lose our children. We have the tools to stem this crisis if we're willing. The Child Mind Institute is the leader in the field. It's the place where kids are getting better and the place that is doing the research and developing the programs that will change the landscape of children's mental health. To learn more, visit childmind.org.
Wake up to football highlights and news from around the world with the one and only Morning Footy team.
Rise and shine, football fans. Welcome to Morning Footy.
Start your all-day football craze with Morning Footy, part of the all-new Golazo Network.
This is AT&T at the half. Connecting changes everything.
Welcome inside our New York studios, AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Roy Hibbert, Steve Lapis, Gary Parrish as well. We got one more tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern at halftime of Bradley and Tulane in Southern California. Tight game at 40-36. What jumps off the page for you?
You know, I'm all about feel and rhythm. You know, Bradley won the first two games with Jonovic, the big man, the only 7-footer on the team starting. But, you know, the last two games he's come off the bench. I'm wondering why. He has the ability to, like, make passes to be able to get guys open. But at the same time now they have Hannah, Leonce, Davis, Dean, and Hickman starting. A small lineup right there. Even when they're small, they're able to win the battle of the boards 18-14 and obviously 24-14 points in the paint. No big guy in there, no 7-footer in there, opens things up a little bit more, and obviously they're up at the half.
Bradley only 2 for 11 from downtown, but overall shooting 47%, up by 4. Well, an absolutely stacked field with games taking place in Honolulu this year for the Maui Invitational. Number 1 Kansas with a comfortable matchup to open, taking on Chaminade earlier tonight, and kind of what we expected, Lap, with KU up by 8 early on.
Yeah, not the greatest thing playing Chaminade, but Johnny Furphy here with the steal, passes Jamari McDowell, who finishes the tough layup. Kansas goes up by 10. Then preseason All-American Hunter Dickinson with the alley-oop. Jayhawks go to 13. And then the second triple-double of the season for Kevin McCullough, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Nice post move there for an easy bucket. And then Hunter Dickinson finishing it off right there. Kansas wins easy.
83-56 the final. Purdue taking on Gonzaga in Honolulu as well.
That's Lance Jones for 3, tied up 39-39, and then Purdue slowly started to pull away. Camden Heide catches that dunk, 48-43 now. Fast forward at 63-55, Miles Colvin. Purdue only made 4 3-pointers in the game, but that ended up to being enough against Gonzaga because they had Zach Edey going big. 25 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks for the National Player of the Year. Purdue wins it 73-63.
All right, Empire Classic Championship game down at the Garden. Number 5, UConn. Number 15, Texas, a takeaway. Hassan Diarra, Samson Johnson, alley-oop, 69-55, UConn.
Caravan drains this nice little floater right there. Good touch. A lead is 73-67 right here. And you know what? He has a turnaround jump shot as well. Huskies lead 75-67. And this is all Caravan right here with another dagger jumper at the clock. UConn wins 81-71. Caravan had a team high 20 points.
7th-ranked Tennessee Syracuse back at the Maui Invitational. This one kicked it off in the afternoon, Lap.
Well, Jemai Meshack there with the putback on Ziegler's miss. Then Santiago Vescovi dishes to George Josiah James for the 3. Tennessee leads by 9. And then Zakai Ziegler lofts it up in the air to Jonas Aidu for the alley-oop. Vescovi, one of the smartest players around, draws 2 defenders to him and slips it to Aidu for the jam. Tennessee wins 73-56.
Aidu a double-double, 14 and 11. All right, St. Joe's 16th-ranked Kentucky final minute.
Cameron Brown puts St. Joe's up by a point in the final minute. Now we're tied 77-77. DJ Wagner tries to finish it. Can't. Misses. We're going to overtime. That's where Trey Mitchell got going. Pulls from the top of the key. He had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Wildcats up 4, and then DJ Wagner, 3rd-generation McDonald's All-American, closing things out. He had 22 points, 6 rebounds. Kentucky wins a close one in overtime.
Survival there at Rupp Arena from any of those highlights. Which one?
Hey, you know, I'm thinking big picture for Purdue. I feel like Zach Edey is a great player, but he gets too much attention earlier on all season long. I feel like he needs to take 5 less shots, spread that thing around so later on in the season, they could win.
I agree with that because they are really this year Final Four or bust. You have to look at it that way for Purdue. But I think they played against a Gonzaga team that is not a vintage Mark Few team in a lot of ways. So I think it's probably the weakest team that he's had in a long, long time.
On Kentucky, really nice week last week. Lost to Kansas. You never want to take moral victories if you're at UK. But still, with all those freshmen playing the #1 team in the country to the final minute, I took something positive away from that. They have a bye game after that, blow them out. Incredible stuff from Reed Shepherd. And then they look very young again in this one. A win's a win. You take it. But John Calipari didn't want to have to play 45 minutes against St. Joe's.
All right, outstanding stuff. More to come on AT&T at the half from New York after this.
It's never too soon for college hoops. Don't miss the Hall of Fame Classic on CBS Sports Network.
We're kicking off game day with a Twisted Tea drop. We're surprising real Twisted Tea fans who love the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Real brew tea with 5% alcohol. Keep it twisted.
These moves looking real nice in the future. Roll up on them and it look nice, look nice. These moves looking real nice in the future. Let's go, like. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Here comes the future.
Oh, Reese's Trees, there's chocolate on your branches and peanut butter in your trunk. That's how all trees should be. I'd like to eat you right now in a bag of Reese's Trees. Oops, wrong song.
This time of year, there's one workshop on everyone's mind. The one that spends the whole year making toys and gifts. The Home Depot Kids Workshop, teaching those who will one day build their own homes and communities that doing is a gift you can share with everyone. Happy holidays from the Home Depot.
We need the sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
Bradley only 2 of 11 from downtown, but the man who is 2 of 3 is Connor Hickman. Little drive and kick. Straight away, 3-pointer. It's 40-36 Bradley as AT&T at the half continues. Our final game of the night. 1 a.m. We've got it slated for 12:30, but it's going to be more like 1 a.m. in the SoCal Challenge. Cal and UTEP, the Miners out of Conference USA, are 4-0. They scored 123 in a game a couple of weeks ago. They're 5th in the country in scoring at more than 100 points per game. Earlier on CBS Sports Network, it was 18th ranked Colorado and Richmond.
That's Neil Quinn getting into the paint. Gets that one to go at the buzzer at the half. So it's 28-25 going to the locker room. Now we're in the second half. Colorado, KJ Simpson for 3. He had a game high 23 on the night. Put Colorado up 46-44 there. Then it's Tristan Da Silva finishes. Buffalo's win at 64-59.
The earlier game in the Sunshine Slam here on the network, Florida State and UNLV.
And Jameer Watkins gets this long 3 to go there. Seminoles up at the half by 7. Then Watkins drives to the rim as hard as he can and throws it down on the whole team. Seminoles up by 7. Watkins lobs it up to Cad Corwin, and he slams it home. Florida State wins by 8.
Watkins 19 on 8 of 11. Quick thought on the second half of this one?
Well, this is a big opportunity for Tulane and by extension the American Athletic Conference in general. But the Green Wave right now only have 9 defensive rebounds. That's as many offensive rebounds as Bradley has. They got to clean that up.
Second half from Southern California after this.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the Half.
We're in the security business. Our job is to help people feel safe. Not only our customers, but those who matter most to them. Just like our company does for us. We have great benefits from Principal, so I know I'm taken care of. And not just me, but the ones who matter most to me.
Guys, listen up. Want to try the strongest FDA-approved ED meds available? If appropriate, get maximum strength generic Viagra prescribed online at 95% off. Just $2 per tablet at RexMD.com.
When Zach was 5 years old, I started noticing just some odd symptoms. Zach was diagnosed with something called acute myeloid leukemia. The treatment for AML is very intense. You know, there were times where Zach got chemo and he was literally burned from the inside out. His hands were burned, his face was burned. Zach actually didn't end up dying of his AML. He died of the therapy meant to save him. We really need pediatric-specific research and pediatric-specific therapies. The Dare to Dream project is transforming treatment and care for kids with blood cancer. The Dare to Dream project is really history in the making. Kids not only locally in your town, but across the nation and globally will be impacted by the Dare to Dream project.
The Dare to Dream project from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
The game's biggest moments happen in the attacking third and on attacking third. Break down the best of women's soccer on the all-new Golazo Network, streaming on Paramount+.
SoCal Challenge on CBS Sports Network, semifinal night. Bradley leads Tulane 40-36 at the break. Chris Sylvester, the coach, Dave Miller, our entire crew. And now Bradley trailed much of that first half, Coach, but the Braves a 15-5 stretch to close the opening 20. Connor Hickman, a big reason why.
Well, it was, and he plays the game low to high. He's able to get into the paint, and you look at his strength to be able to collect himself and go up. There, it's just a nice little step-in three, and it's spacing and timing and having awareness of your teammates. Again, penetrate, kick, nothing but net. It was sort of like shooting practice once Hickman got started.
Hickman made both Bradley threes in that first half. The Braves opened 0 for 7 before Hickman got one to drop late in the period. A team that averages close to 11 made threes per game. As you get a look at the statistics between these two through one half.
Well, what I liked about Bradley, they didn't give up. When they weren't hitting shots, they relied on their defense. And then they had good production off the bench. Ellis and Birch, not in points, but in system flow. And when you think of Tulane, they gave up 9 offensive rebounds. Way too many, but Forbes and Trey Williams, definitely a bright spot for the Green Wave.
Tulane, 19 free throw attempts. Got to the line often in that first half, hit 14 of them. Jalen Forbes led the way with a baker's dozen in the point column for Tulane. Bradley, the first possession of the second half.
Well, let's see how they attack this zone. Are they going to settle, or are they going to penetrate to score, penetrate to kick like they did to end that first half?
Davis, step back off the front rim. Cross soars in for the rebound.
Like the defense, he took the drive on his chest, made him settle.
Sneaks it inside, and King has the first second half bucket.
So let's watch the flow of the game. They got to stop, they got to score. Now, can they get multiple stops, multiple scores, try and gain the lead, and then create separation?
Colby King just 1 for 8 from the field that first half. Much better start to the second half. A takeaway for Tulane.
Seems to be a little bit more pep in the step for the Green Wave right now with urgency. I'm sure Coach got after him in the locker room.
3 lopsided victories to open the season. First time they've trailed at the half this year. Forbes missed it.
The ill-advised shot. Great defense by Hickman. Not the foul, just straight up contest.
Oh, Hickman, he's a blur. and he puts it in, plus the foul.
Well, we talked about him being a combo guard early, and he uses his lower body strength. He sizes him up. Nice little in and out move, creates the angle. Easy score, absorbs the contact. A chance, Chris, for an old-fashioned three-point play.
Connor Hickman started all 34 games as a sophomore last season. Averaged 8.5 points per game. He's taken another leap this year, had a career-high 21 points opening week. And a crucial overtime win at home against Utah State. 4-point lead for Bradley. Holloway down the baseline, and he's fouled. Remember, he was benched in the final moments of that first half with 3 fouls. And the junior from Baton Rouge will take a couple more Green Wave free throws.
Well, he really made leaps and bounds. This team took a summer trip to China on one of the tours, and he was the co-MVP along with Colby King. And he just worked on his body. He's about 10 to 12 pounds lesser, which gives him more fluidity to go up and down the floor, but really like his substance and his style offensively and defensively on the floor.
Williams will check back in for Forbes, who takes a seat quickly here out of the half. Yeah, it was the World University Games over the summer in China. 7 games for this Tulane team to play together. Ron Hunter really felt like that stretch helped them form an identity. They took home bronze. And when this tournament opportunity came up, he was not only attracted to the location, but to play quality games this time of year, so important for his program.
Well, that's been the one thing about the SoCal Challenge. They bring in good teams, and they just keeps getting bigger and better.
Another steal for Tulane as Holloway was able to save it in. Cross probing along the baseline, spins underneath and swirls it home and flexes his 2 biceps.
And those are big biceps. That was a big man's move.
Hickman misses the quick trigger on this end. 42's on the board. Cross facing up on Hickman.
Like the help by Leons right there to make him give it up.
Right now, Cross still has that mismatch. Instead, Holloway pulls the trigger. And Davis soars in for the Bradley rebound. And a technical foul has been called on Kevin Cross Jr. of Tulane.
Well, Cross Jr. doesn't need the technical, but you see right here, nice little hesitation. He spins away. He's able to go in and score over 2 red jerseys. And right there, he's pumping the guns.
Duke Dean will take the technical free throws for Bradley. Where did that technical occur? It was as he went over the back of Connor Hickman, and it felt like a foul should have been called.
There's a little frustration right there.
Well, he had that mismatch, passed out of it, and then Tulane didn't throw the ball to him in the mid-post.
Well, I don't think Holloway, right, exactly. Holloway didn't see it because you see that mismatch.
I think part of that frustration was not taking advantage of that mismatch.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you, it appeared to be a mismatch, but when you look at Hickman's physical strength and his ability to compete, I haven't seen every player in their league, but he's got to be one of the top 3 or 4 two-way players in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Leons from long range puts it in. Malavi Leons connects on his first triple tonight. And that winds up being a 5-point possession for Bradley. Holloway on the take, off the glass and good.
Well, that's just bully ball. That's just putting your head down and getting to the rim. There's got to be more defensive resistance. Pin him to the sideline, make him pick it up.
Duke Dean from distance. And Williams boards the missed triple. How about the pace these two teams have played at from the outset? Williams bounces it in, and the foul.
One of the pleasant surprises, as I mentioned in the first half, I just like him that he doesn't get sped up. And now look at here. He sees the top of the hole. Nobody comes over. And I like the way Leons was there as a secondary defender. But you have to have a help defender coming from the wing once you see your teammate get beat by the drive. I think young players need to know that everybody gets matched up. But sometimes you have to leave your man to stop the dribble drive and then get into defensive rotation.
Trey Williams has brought a spark off the bench for Tulane tonight. 8 points for the 50-year senior.
Substitution for the Green Wave, number 25, Jalen Forbes, replacing King.
So we are tied again. Bradley led by 4 at the break. Tulane has pulled even at 47. Hickman stops and starts. Didn't see much from Almar Atlason. In foul trouble that first half. Had 6 made threes in Bradley's most recent game. Leon's off-balanced, and that never had a chance. Chance for the Green Wave to jump back in front. Forbes puts the dribble behind his back and had it deflected out by Leons.
A little bit more intensity on the defensive end for both teams, trying to limit paint penetration off the drive to finish, off the drive to kick.
Darius Hannah, the 6'9" senior from Milwaukee, returns for the Braves. Forbes through the contact, had it deflected, and Cross was there.
What a crafty pass, knowing where his teammate was, figuring the shot was going to get blocked, just drops it off right into his hands.
2-point lead for the Green Wave. Atlason buries his first attempt.
Well, he's a 4-5 in this league. He's skilled. He can shoot it. He likes transition threes. But again, you've got to know KYP. 85% of his shots are 3. You've got to be there on the catch.
A streaky shooter, 2 of 11 first 2 games. 6 out of 7 last time. And the response from Sion James, his first triple.
You're too young to know that show, Name That Tune, but that's what they're doing. A 3 on this end, a 3 on that end. I can name that tune in 3 notes.
We call that Shazam these days. Hannah able to keep the dribble alive. Tried to put it in off the glass. Instead, it's rebounded by James. Cross. Thought a teammate was there. Instead, Leons has the steal. Birch weaving through traffic, dumps it off for Hannah.
The way Birch is playing right now, I'm going to elevate him from a freshman to sophomore status. I usually do that at Christmas. What a heck of a play by that youngster.
He's made a couple nice passes to set up easily paint points for Bradley. Boy, this has a real up and down pace now as Colin Holloway has another second half bucket.
Almost like an NBA All-Star game. Just going down and just making great offensive plays.
These teams are at least trying on the defensive end. And Birch whistled for traveling before he flipped up the shot attempt.
Where I tell you, everything seems to be going in. It never rains in sunny Southern California, but it's raining tonight in the SoCal Challenge. Buckets, a 2-point game. Tulane with the lead.
It's never too soon for college hoops. It's the Emerald Coast Classic on CBS Sports Network.
On a Cursed, Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
See ya. Caleb Williams, you gotta get out of here. Fansville is cursed. No, Fansville's not cursed. I swear on Dr. Pepper, it's real. I'm not superstitious. I'm number 13. 13? No. And I'm on the cover of this magazine and this video game. The covers, no! I'm literally walking under 3 ladders as we speak. Ladder Emporium, no! I even have a black cat. Get out while you can! That was weird.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
iPhone 15 Pro, your husband deserves it.
Carolers, to tell me you want a new iPhone? A better plan is Verizon.
Black Friday starts now. Turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Let me show you what goes on behind the scenes when making a Shaq-a-Roni.
Bust.
We created Shaq-a-Roni my way, an extra-large pizza topped with extra cheese and extra pepperoni. It's a simple recipe. We take everything you love, then we build it bigger. Pizza gets bigger when you Shaq-a-Roni.
ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy and seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go.
Our cost for shipping, we're cut in half, just like that.
Go to ShipStation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
Why get someone one big gift when you can get them a bunch of mini gifts? Like these little Reese's. Look, they're already wrapped. So convenient. All you have to do is put them under the tree or stuff them in a stocking.
There's no Belichickery here.
When Sunday football isn't enough.
Dislike that tape.
Great take.
That other pregame show will put you over the tops.
I'm all in. Let's go viral here.
Every Sunday, all the insight you need on CBS Sports Network.
Tomorrow night at 6 Eastern, join us off the coast of the Caribbean Sea. It's the 2023 Cancun Challenge. It begins with number 22, James Madison in Southern Illinois, followed by Fresno State and New Mexico State. Catch it all right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, CBS Sports Network. Well, James Madison, they shocked the college basketball world opening night. They went to East Lansing, knocked off Michigan State. Now nationally ranked at 4-0, the best mark among Sun Belt teams early in the year.
And much deserved. I mean, they have a base defensively, offensively. They're high-powered. They come at you in waves.
Oh, I see what you did there, in waves.
Well, if you're in Cancun,
there's waves there, but there's some pretty good waves here.
Especially out of the Marriott they have us staying in.
Goodness.
Or the Cliffs. They, like I said earlier, this is a great destination to come spend a week with your family and watch some great college basketball.
Hickman cuts and leaves the teardrop short. 6 ties, 5 lead changes between these teams, and the bulk of those here in the second half. James sets up. Hickman rebounds.
Bradley doing a great job. When the shot goes up, they're blocking out, they're cleaning up their glass, alleviating any opportunities for easy putbacks with a very athletic Tulane team.
Trying to get it into Leons. James was there to punch it out.
Little lackadaisical. You got to meet your pass, whether you're in the post or you're in the middle or you're on the perimeter. Meet your post with the jump stop, then catch, turn, and face at your basket.
10th Bradley turnover. And they get it right back. The reigning Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year has the steal, and Davis connects from deep.
Christian Davis for 3.
You know, he's a guy that doesn't have to score. In that UAB game I watched, he had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and just impacted the game. But right there, you got to be there on the catch, make him put it on the floor. That's easy pickings.
Our 6th lead change.
You know, the one thing you see is when this team can get out and play defense and they get the steal, right there you shoot the gap with those long arms, and now Hickman just surveys, he times it, and boom, lock, loaded, catch, shoot, nothing but net noise.
Replacing Hannah and Hickman. Green Wave ball.
Davis hit 7 threes through Bradley's first 3 games. James spins around. That's a pretty finish.
Pretty finish, but I don't know what more Davis could do defensively. He stood his ground. He didn't foul it. He made him go up and shoot it over him.
Leons holsters his weapon. Bradley resets in the half court. A 1-point game. Atlason makes the extra pass. One more to Duke Dean along the end line.
Well, he had Leons right there for a drop pass.
Birch steps through and draws the contact. He's fouled with 3 to shoot.
I like the way James has come out. He's not hunting shots. He's just patience, poise, a nice little turnaround jump shot over a contested hand. Really has had a nice night. You know, he's a capable three-point shooter, but I like him in transition. I think he's a blur.
Tulane head coach Ron Hunter calls him the smartest kid he's ever been around. Wouldn't be surprised if one morning he woke up and Sion James was running for president. And he jokingly said that he plays him so much, 37 minutes a game, tops in the American last year, because he feels like if he is the president one day, Coach Hunter might need a favor.
And at least he can visit the White House even if they don't win the national championship.
Bad inbound pass. James lays it in.
Well, he's putting his fingerprint on this game right now early in this second half.
The president puts Tulane up 3. Atlason out of the shot fake, lets it go. Hits from deep.
A nice little escape dribble right there by the 6'8 freshman.
Almar Atlason, 6'8 forward from Iceland. Out of Sunrise Christian Academy, powerhouse program in Wichita, Kansas. 2 free throws on the other side for Colin Holloway. 58s on the board in the SoCal Challenge.
There's 2 ways to score. You can put it in transition, you can get to the rim, or you can kick it out, make the extra pass, shot fake, up, down. It's tied 58 all.
Let's do another round. You can do it. In this clinic, we pride ourselves on putting others first. It's on us to help care for our clients' well-being, to help them adapt. It's inspiring to work at a place where our patients succeed and we as therapists do too. With great benefits from Principal, we feel appreciated for the work we do.
Seven ties, 7 lead changes, stuck on 58, 11-52. Second half, Bradley and Tulane, a couple of undefeated teams meeting in the SoCal Challenge semifinal. Coming up next, get in-depth highlights and analysis of the latest hoops action as we go coast to coast on Inside College Basketball right here on CBS Sports Network. So tied 58-58, and Coach, you look at the paint points, those are even as well, 28-28.
Well, that's what's interesting. Both teams want to get out and score easily, but right now neither are settling. And when they are hitting perimeter shots is because they're getting into the lane. But, you know, I like teams that play inside out, and I think the three is a huge part of basketball at any level. But you can see right now that there's a premium on getting to the lane to score, getting in the lane to draw multiple defenders to drop off or to kick out for perimeter takes.
Colin Holloway makes good on the second free throw. He's up to 7 points, all of them here in the second half.
Little 1-2-1-1 full court pressure right now, trying to speed Bradley up. Remember, the game plan for Tulane is to speed you up, turn you over, and get easy scores.
Deflected by King. Duke Dean circles underneath.
That was quick on quick.
Leons, that's a long two. Here comes Sion James. Cross spins, hooks, and scores.
See, I think you got to know the scouting report. He's always going to spin back. So you've got to beat him to the spot, or a help side teammate has got to be there to try and deter him from those easy scores in the lane.
Davis against 2 defenders underneath, and he's fouled.
Tulane foul charge number 5, fourth personal foul. 14 foul to Green Wave in the second half. Bradley's substitution is number 2, and his substitution for Tulane is number 25, JSerra.
He takes you to the left, he comes back to the right, goes over 2 defenders, and just uses his brute strength to get up and over to get the shot off.
That last foul, the 4th on Colin Holloway.
Great slip to get Leons in the lane.
Hickman watches it wiggle out. Ellis grabs a second effort. Duke Dean with a quick blow-by and a teardrop.
That's the type of guy, when he goes to bed in the dorm room, he flips the light switch off at the door and he's under the covers before the light goes out. Good gracious. Wow.
How did he get there so fast? 1 point lead for Tulane. Forbes, post, hands off, cross, attacks, off the side of the glass. Nice defense provided by Emarion Ellis.
And company, he had 3 surrounded him, Chris.
Now Bradley has packed the paint. not making any easy opportunities for Tulane on that end. Chance for the Braves to jump back in front. Shot clock into single digits. And it's deflected out by James with 5 to shoot. Tulane 3-0 for a second straight season, trying to start 4-0 for the first time since the 2020-2021 campaign. Shot clock winding down. Dean on a step back, puts it in.
Pretty good defense by King. Did you see how he absorbed the contact and he just bounced off him, got his feet set, raised up, and knocked it down?
Another lead change here in San Juan Capistrano as Bradley jumps back in front. Forbes seeking contact, wouldn't get it. Dean on a pocket pass underneath. Leons with a fake and a score off the glass.
But I was just going to say, I mean, Dean is a blur, but he was able to stay under control and make that one-hand bounce pass in the gap.
Dean, who had scored the previous 4 points, now gets an assist. He has had his fingerprints all over this stretch for Bradley. They lead by 3. Forbes off of his sneaker. James on the deck. And tied up, possession arrow points the way of Bradley.
I tell you, Dean right now is going to beat that shot clock. With 1 second left, he absorbs the contact, and he's able to go up and knock down the bucket, and he's feeling good. And then what do? Also, you share the wealth. You get a bucket, you got to feed. Leon's down there, keep him happy. And again, if you can get more guys involved offensively, I think it just strengthens your defensive bond, and everybody wants to get back and get turned on this end of the floor.
James with 2 to shoot, falling away, and it's off the back rim. The 7'1" sophomore Hamet Jonovic has checked back in for Bradley.
I like Bradley trying to push the pace, Chris. No go. Now they have patience in the half court. So you got push, you got patience. See if they can get some paint. That's the 3 P's that I'm going to put on this Bradley squad.
Nice defense provided by Forbes to knock it away from Ellis.
Both teams getting up and down the floor, aren't they, partner? A lot of pace.
Helter-skelter here in SoCal. Cross elevates. It hangs off the right side of the iron. And look who comes out of there with the loose ball. Hickman from deep. That was deflected. At least Hickman thought it was. And it's Tulane basketball on the other side. Down the stretch, this should be a fun finish at the SoCal Challenge. The Bradley Braves lead by 3.
The Scudetto, where the soul of Italy meets the pinnacle of calcio. Catch Serie A on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount+.
At FanDuel, we know how great it is to celebrate a win. And we want everyone to celebrate this NFL season. That's why we're giving away over $1 million in prizes with FanDuel free-to-play games. So lace up those dancing shoes. Because with FanDuel, you can feel like a winner after every play. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Let me show you what goes on behind the scenes when making a Shaq-a-Roni.
Bust.
We created Shaq-a-Roni my way, an extra-large pizza topped with extra cheese and extra pepperoni. It's a simple recipe. We take everything you love, then we build it bigger. Pizza gets bigger when you Shaq-a-Roni.
Business can happen virtually anywhere, but there's nothing like being there. At National, you can skip the counter and choose any car in the aisle. Even manage your rental right from the app. So you can give some quality time to a quality cause. Swing by to see one more customer. And really get down to business. Go National. Go like a pro.
This one's been tightly contested throughout. Right now, Bradley up 3 on Tulane. A couple of undefeated teams that have played really well out of the gate This is just the third week of the college basketball season. And for Bradley, Malevite Leons has led the way with 15 points in this one.
Well, he's done it in a variety of ways. Getting inside, right place, right time. Again, another pass showing his pomps of the passer. And now just a simple catch and shoot. It's really been, Chris, a quiet 15 points. What I've noticed is he's out there defensively looking for deflections, you know, shooting the gap, getting steals, trying to push the pace for his teammates to get easy scores.
He's got 3 steals tonight, and when he's been out there for Bradley, the plus-minus category, +10 for the Braves, and that's why he's been out there with his 3 fouls much of the second half. Cross spins on Leons, and that may be his 4th. There were a couple of other red jerseys down there, and the foul will go against Ellis.
Well, we're seeing a theme with the Tulane players getting into the lane and spinning, which means the Bradley players have to meet and greet them with their chest and try and make them play sideline to sideline, and not allowing them to get down the tunnel into the paint and lane and to get you going left to come back right, or vice versa.
That's how you know you're going good at the free throw line. Kevin Cross now 2 for 2 tonight. He was 6 for 6 last time out on Friday. Big win at home over Sacramento State. This one would make it a 1-point game. That's my fault.
Do you believe in that?
No, not actually.
Me neither.
But some of the people at home do.
Get ready for some emails and texts. Check your Twitter.
Hopefully they don't get a hold of my email address. Birch, elbow jump shot. Hard off the heel. Hannah's grab the second effort for Bradley. Second chance points for the Braves, and they'll have a chance to add to that total as Duke Dean gets fouled.
Well, he's fearless, and he's good going left, he's good going right. When he sees just a sliver of space, he's able to just find his way and get through it with that quick first step.
5'8". He's from Louisiana, out of Shreveport, where Louisiana Tech is nearby in Ruston. Bradley, his 3rd school, started in junior college, under-recruited like most guys his size are. Went to Panola for a year, then to Troy, where he put himself on the map as the Sun Belt Freshman of the Year. And now in his 2nd season at Bradley, he's one of their top returners off that 25-win season a year ago.
I'll tell you, Chris, at practice today, the shoot-around, he was a leader, he was vocal, and man, he had deep range when they were doing their shooting. He's going to be a really good player for this team.
Holloway back in there with his 4 fouls. And he will head to the free throw stripe. Christian Davis, or rather Darius Hannah, commits the personal. So more free throws for Tulane. These will be attempts 27 and 28.
You know, just watching Holloway, I can't really put my finger on a zillion things that he does well, but he's just the glue. He just sort of keeps the group. When he's out on the floor and he's out there, it's just a good glue guy, and keeps this team headed in the right direction. He needs to be a little bit more talkative. I haven't seen him communicate on defense. But
misfires on both free throws.
Yeah, he's an advantage out on the floor for them.
Bradley with the lead in the leather inside of 7 minutes. Neither side is led by more than 6.
Like the way Bradley is using all sides of the offense, left, right, to the top.
Birch for 3. And that bounced off the glass a couple of times. And a foul against Tulane. That's on Forbes.
And it looked like Leons, he missed time going up and went up in the air, and I think there was an easy little shove in the back.
The 3rd on Forbes, who has not scored since the first half. He's been conspicuously quiet since the break. Figure Tulane will need some production from him down the stretch in this one.
Dean has the ball on a string.
Dean out to Davis. Bradley's largest lead.
And Davis is a streaky three-point shooter, but that ball had some pop and some crisp, easy three.
Second tray for Davis. Now a takeaway for Leons.
Really good help side defense by Bradley.
An 11-1 stretch put together by the Braves as we dwindle inside of 6 minutes. Dean, side pocket triple. Book it. Timeout Tulane. Bradley has jumped in front by 10.
Well, I'll tell you, Dean just showing his speed and his quickness, getting to his spots. Right there, Dean, the kick out, an easy shot by Christian Davis. Let's get another one. What do you got, Bradley? Man, this game is heating up. Dean, give me another one, DJ Khaled, and another one. It's the SoCal Challenge.
It's never too soon for college hoops. Don't miss the Cancun Challenge on CBS Sports Network.
We're lucky to have this team working for us. Our therapists give their all each day by helping those who need it most. We take great pride, not just in the job our team does, but in them as people, our people. And while we're in the business of taking care of others, it's important our therapists know that with benefits from Principal, they're taken care of too.
iPhone 15 Pro, your husband deserves it.
Carolers, to tell me you want a new iPhone, a better plan is Verizon.
Black Friday starts now. Turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Ain't no secret in staying in your pride. You just gotta want it, baby. Eating almonds can help you recover from exercise. Fellas, get after it. So eat your almonds. Own your pride.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Laguna Cliffs Marriott Resort and Spa, by Visit Dana Point, the best beaches in Southern California, and by Wilson, the official basketball of the SoCal Challenge.
Well, Bradley has put together a 14-1 stretch over the last 5 minutes and up double figures for the first time tonight, 72-62 over Tulane. After Duke Dean hit that corner three before that last time out, he was hit with a technical foul. So Jalen Forbes will shoot the technical free throws for Tulane, and the Green Wave will have possession.
Well, you know how I judge officials when I coached? When they're invisible and they're not out there. And this crew has been very, very good. But I just didn't see, unless he said something, it wasn't that he pointed, you know, he was having a little bit of fun. I don't think you can take the fun out of it. But again, sitting over here, you don't know if he said something to the bench. But this crew has been very good officiating this game.
Duke Dean now 11 points, 4 assists, the bulk of that damage in this second half.
Bradley bringing a little three-quarter court pressure here right now.
Critical stretch for Tulane.
Yeah, and I look at the bounce right now in this zone right now. They fall back three-quarter court to a half-court zone. And Davis on the top is long.
No made shots from the field in almost 6 minutes for Tulane. Forbes trying to change that. Misses the corner pop. Davis gets tangled up with Williams, and James could not save it in.
Well, that's the shot, Chris, that Bradley wants Tulane to take. You know, no penetration, settle from the perimeter, and then you play your chances with percentages.
Colin Holloway back on the floor with 4 fouls and 5:13 left.
You know, the one thing about playing a zone for either team, it's difficult to block out, you know, because you're not guarding a man, you're guarding an area, so you really have to turn and find an opposite colored jersey.
Bradley, a top 20 scoring defense nationally last season, and they have done a terrific job of locking up Tulane down the stretch of this second half. Leons through the contact, misses the flip. Hickman soars in, and a two-hand flush. Darius Hannah. The lead back to 10 for Bradley.
Right now, Bradley playing a little bit harder than Tulane out there on the floor.
Forbes on the step through, lost it. Hickman the steal. Here comes Dean, he whips it inside, and James prevented the tomahawk jam as Christian Davis went up the escalator.
I'll tell you, right place, right time. You see the multiple effort play by Hickman to get Hannah inside for the easy finish. But what about that pass right there by Duke Dean in front of us? He's going full speed. He's like lightning, and he has that control to put that pass right on Christian Davis's hands with no angle.
Coming up on a 7-minute field goal drought for Tulane. Is that good defense or bad offense?
It's a mixture of both, but I'll tell you what it is. It's their inability to get easy scores and their inability to get into the paint. They're not settling in a bad way. It's just what the defense is giving them. Right there, they get into the lane. You got a chance for a three-point play. Now maybe they get a little bit momentum.
I'll see if that opens up the floodgates down the stretch.
Again, just a great cut right there by James. The pass was on time, on target. It led him in to that shot for the easy basket, and that's what they were getting when they had the lead. But if you're just going to settle from the perimeter, you better hope that they start to fall in.
Junior from Sugar Hill in Georgia, about 40 miles northeast of Atlanta. Had a big 30-point explosion against Memphis in the regular season last year.
But he got a lot of feedback. He had 8 or 9 NBA workouts before deciding to come back, and it was really helpful because I think guys can gather information, what they do well and what they need to work on. I think it benefits when they return.
4 minutes left. Atlas in attacks. Hickman lets it go. Oh, that stayed on the cylinder for a while. Holloway finally comes down with it. Chance for Tulane to get closer, and James is fouled by Christian Davis, who thought he got mostly ball.
Well, he did, but you got to beat him to the spot. You let him turn the corner, you can't be surprised. But right now, it's been the defense of Bradley keeping Tulane out of the paint.
A game of honor. The Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Saturday, December 9th on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Uncommon Goods takes your thoughtful thoughts and turns them into brilliant gift ideas. A magic light, an entire light show, a fireside chat, a walk on the wild side. Anyway, you get the idea. The brilliant one. Shop brilliantly at uncommongoods.com.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who scans this QR code. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Scan the QR code. Don't wait. Scan the code now and ask about the Bosley Guarantee.
Get customizable furniture at joybird.com that complements your art, your green thumb, or just you. Save up to 45% off select bestsellers. Shop an unparalleled selection at joybird.com.
Semi-final night in the SoCal Challenge, a game that's had 8 lead changes, 7 ties, but a dominant stretch put together by Bradley. They lead by 8 with 3:45 left to play. How did the Green Wave make a late push here, Coach?
Well, they've got to get into the lane, and before they can get into the lane, they've got to pick up their defense right now. You got 3:45 left. You want to create confusion, chaos, havoc, and get back to what makes you a good team. Deflections, stops, push the pace for easy scores, and then which team can get multiple stops in a row? Right now, Tulane's got to put a couple together.
Sion James with a free throw make out of the timeout. James up to 13 points in this game. Jalen Forbes leads Tulane with 15 points, but it has not been an efficient effort for him. Just 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 7 from deep. The Bradley lead is 6, and some full court pressure employed by the Green Wave.
There you see, watch for some traps, watch for some shooting the gaps. And then when they get into the half court, I think they need to maintain that pressure, trying to get this team to cough it up.
Bradley, a 25-win team from the season ago. Most wins they had in the season since 1987, 1988. Leons loses the handle. Recovered by Hannah. Dean with 5 to shoot. Whips it to the corner. Davis up top, and a late whistle with 2 on the timer.
Well, that just kills you, the coach, to get bailed out with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and he sort of threw that up. I call that a banana pass, where it was just hanging up there with the trajectory. But you know, it's imperative right now that Bradley, they're at the free throw line now, Davis for free throws, but with that pressure, you've got to meet your pass. You just can't stand it, because Tulane's going to try and go for steals and stab, and just, you got to be strong with the ball.
Grab some cold brew. We've got another basketball game after this one. UTEP off to a 4-0 start, taking on the California Golden Bears about a half hour after this one wraps up right here on CBS Sports Network. The lead grows back to 8 for the Braves, and Brian Wardle takes time out with 3:17 left.
Well, I was really impressed with Brian Wardle. He's one of the few coaches that I don't know in college basketball, and the way he approached this business trip in practice, going over everything that he wanted to have done in this game, and for the most part, his team has really answered what he asked them to do. Don't give up, don't get down, you know, just don't get sped up, and they really stuck to the script, and a credit to coach and his staff for a real good scout this afternoon.
25-10 last season, 16-4. Missouri Valley regular season champs for the first time since 1996, and Wardle, deservedly so, was the conference coach of the year. They lost to Drake in the conference tournament title game. Went to the NIT for the first time since 2007, lost to Wisconsin in the opening round.
Well, you know, you mentioned the NIT. In the last 5 years, they've gone to 2 NCAA tournaments. That's the first time, you know, in a long time. And then they won the regular season championship in 2023. That hadn't been done in 30 years.
Yeah, they won the conference tournament in 2020 before the big dance was canceled. Tulane needs it, and Colby King delivers. That's a long 2. So it's 77-71. And a quick timeout taken by Ron Hunter. At the high school line and the college line here.
Yeah, exactly. And there you just see good ball movement, just a good extra pass, and an easy deuce.
So a 6-point game again. 3:06 left. Ron Hunter, 59 years old, Miami of Ohio grad, IUPUI, Georgia State, now Tulane. It was a bad hurricane plus the pandemic that he had to deal with early in his Tulane coaching tenure. Here in year 5 now, he thinks this is his best team at Tulane.
Well, I tell you, he is really, you know, I call him a survivor. He just survives, and he makes guys better on and off the court. The matchup zone tonight hasn't been the best that I've seen it, but he's, in the 30 years, he sort of tweaked it here and there. One of the really good guys in college basketball.
And perhaps best known for falling off his stool when his son RJ hit that game-winning 3 in the 2015 NCAA tournament, leading 14-seed Georgia State to a round of 64 upset over 3-seed Baylor. How could you forget that moment?
Yeah, I tell you, RJ, his son, I think is in the G League again. I've got to check.
He's with the Raptors 905 north of the border.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Duke Dean from distance, wide right. And a foul underneath against Tulane. Another costly foul on the Green Wave will put Bradley back at the stripe. It's on Sion James. Still to 1-1 here. Bradley at the free throw line in this game. 21 makes. Or rather, 12 makes. Tulane has 21 makes. Bradley 12 of 15 at the stripe. Only attempted 11 free throws last time out against Tarleton State. Leons connects on the front end.
So now it's very important with Bradley to be able to get back and defend, and they've done a great job of limiting the paint penetrations. Defend without fouling. Don't put Tulane on the free throw line. They don't want the clock to stop and give them a chance to score points. This clock needs to keep moving, and they need to stick with their script.
Crunch time here in SoCal.
Little zone defense right here. You got to have active feet and live hands, and try and cover the seams with your feet and your hands and vision.
Not a bad idea on a night where Tulane's 3 of 14 from distance. Rejection for Leons as he sent back Kevin Cross. First player ever in Missouri Valley history last season with 50 blocks and 50 steals.
A little bit of patience right here. They're in no rush. But again, you always got to be watching for someone to come trap the ball.
Hickman, the ball handler. He's trapped and turns it over. A 4-on-2 for Tulane. Forbes finishes off the glass.
You get a quick timeout right here. Now again, you can set up. And you're not just talking one possession, you're talking multiple possessions of what needs to be done both offensively and defensively if you're Coach Hunter.
$1:52 left.
You know, it was the defense we talked about, Chris, that we saw down here. There you see Leons with the block shot, Hannah with the rebound. And again, you just take some patience. There's where the trap came, and that was the ill-advised pass. As soon as that trap came, you've got to have teammates that get visible, and when you turn it over, bad things usually happen on the other end, and you foul.
Bradley has led by as many as 11 here in the second half. Tulane within 5. 1:52 to play. Braves basketball out of the timeout on a night where Bradley has shot 47% from the field, 8 of 24 from deep. They've held Tulane to 3 of 14 from the perimeter and 47% from the field. Fast break points favor Tulane 16-10 after that last bucket.
You got to really want it, White, all right? Well, it's important right now for Tulane to really rev up that defense, and then conversely on the other side, Bradley's got to meet their passes, be strong with the ball.
Up next, the California Golden Bears first-year head coach Mark Madsen against Joe Golding in year 3 with the UTEP Miners. Winner of this one will get the winner of that one. Loser of this one will get the loser of that one. Both of those games set for Wednesday right here on CBS Sports Network. A strong contingent of Miner fans making the trip from El Paso, Texas. UTEP off to a 4-0 start. They opened the year against a couple of non-D1s, but then right here on CBS Sports Network last week knocked off the Big West favorite UC Santa Barbara, followed by a nice win at home Friday over Austin Peay. Can Tulane get a stop when they absolutely need it? King picks up Dean. Shot clock down to 5. Dean to the baseline. Had it deflected. And James, well, look, I think the shot clock should have expired. That's what Tulane is arguing, and it's going to be really close. The officials will head to the monitor.
Or it's just you're in distress. He tried to get the shot off.
Maybe a second left for Bradley.
Yeah. Another view. I mean, when that leaves his hands, it's just about to click 2.
Yeah, about a second.
But anyway, really good defense right there by Tulane for the duration of that shot clock, and then to put him into a low percentage situation.
DJ Nelson, Larry Spalding, Randy Heimerman, the officiating crew, trying to get this one right.
So
with 1:22 left.
Yeah, I mean, right now I think it's all about time. You know, how much time they're going to put on the clock.
That's the only thing they could be reviewing here.
Right.
It's certainly nothing else. And you see as James goes after it, he's got his hands on the basketball, and then that right foot touches down with 1 on the shot clock. And that's what Brian Wardle is focused on in his huddle with Bradley. Now, hold on here. They're saying that the possession changed hands, and they're putting 20 back on the timer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big break for Bradley.
Big advantage.
They can take this thing all the way down to about a minute. Tulane will have to pin their ears back and get after it defensively once more.
Boy, Williams did a great job of denying Dean the basketball.
Hickman knifing through, turns it over. A steal for Williams. 65 seconds left. Williams on a bounce inside. Holloway spins to his left, and the foul on the floor before the shot attempt.
Yeah.
At the next level, you probably give him continuation.
No question about that. But again, the length and the athleticism of Tulane right now.
So Colin Holloway, who's been in foul trouble much of the night, 3 for 4 at the free throw line, was 10 of 11 in his first 3 games this year.
You know, and again, these are points you can't obviously defend at the free throw line, but more importantly, the clock has stopped and they're able to put points on the board.
Some clutch makes for Holloway, and Tulane within 3.
Now, if they're going to set any screening action, the screener can always step back to the ball to get open, or you can just flash to open gaps to try and break this. It looks like they'll clear it. You've got to be visible in red.
James reaches in on Leons, and he will shoot free throws. Ron Hunter looking at the man he calls the president, asking him, why'd you do that?
A silly foul because he had no, I mean, if you're going for the steal, that's one thing, but just to wrap around, I call that Olay defense, right? Just Olay and you try and tip it from behind.
Leon's 59% at the free throw line. Almar Atlason checks back in for Bradley. Kobe Keaton returns for Tulane. Green Wave, the preseason pick to finish 3rd among 14 teams in the American. Florida Atlantic American newcomer, the preseason favorite, followed by Memphis.
All right, so now you're in red. You got to get back. You got to get turned. You want to deter them a little bit. No head of steam, but you can't foul. And no open looks.
Cross whips it to the corner. Forbes for 3. No. And Bradley cannot control the rebound. Tulane will have a second bite at the apple.
Yeah, so you know, as a coach, you say that's a bad defensive possession, because what is a good defensive possession? When you get the culmination, you get the basketball.
Jalen Forbes 1 for 8 from distance in this game. Missed 7 straight after making his first. Tough take and a late whistle.
Ooh, that was late.
Kevin Cross Jr. to the free throw stripe for 2.
Let's see the foul right here. They've got him in the backside with the body.
Atlason just picked up his 5th foul. And his night is over.
Yeah, he really did some nice things for a 6'8" freshman out on the floor. Seems to be poised, seems to be pretty skilled. You know, today at the shoot-around, he's shooting some pull-ups. Good player.
A couple trays in this game after that 6-3 performance last time against Tarleton State.
Yeah, I think crunching numbers last night was like 85% of his shots had been threes. So, you know, modern day basketball, right?
True freshman from Iceland will be a spectator for the rest of this one. Here's Kevin Cross, senior from Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's a 3-point game again.
Now expect pressure. Meet your pass, catch, turn, and look.
Ron Hunter's out of timeouts. Hickman trapped. Bean chucks it to Davis.
Beat it by the pass, not the dribble, unless you have a direct line drive.
Tulane's not trying to play this out. Only 5 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock, and Forbes delivers the foul with 22.3. They put Hickman at the free throw line. He only attempted 1 free throw tonight, and he missed it.
Like the poise right there that we just saw on the replay, just moving it, safe passes, and again, you know, the key is if you see a teammate have 2 white jerseys surrounding him, you got to be visible to your teammate so he can pressure release.
Hickman misses the first. Holloway to the bench with his 4 fouls. Williams and his ball handling abilities back in there for Tulane.
Yeah, so now if you're Bradley, you're banking on Hickman making this shot, then you've got to locate shooters in transition on a push or in the half court.
He misses both. The door is still open for the Green Wave. Cross into the front court. Works downhill and misses off the side of the iron. Long rebound taken by Forbes. He misses. King with 8 seconds. Backpedals. That's a long 2. It rattles out. Tapped into the backcourt. And time will expire. Bradley holds on, and the Braves are headed to the SoCal Challenge championship game.
Well, this is a team that struggled at the start of this game with the pressure in that matchup zone, half court, full court, but they were able to stick to the script. It was a wild scramble right here to end. But again, give the wherewithal of Bradley, just relentless on the boards, a great tip back, and there was speed, and speed kills.
And fitting that defense helped them seal the deal tonight. So one half of the bracket in Wednesday's championship filled by the Braves of Bradley. 4-0, they hand Tulane its first loss of the season, outlasting the Green Wave here 80-77. They will play the winner of Cal and UTEP coming up next. Stay with us here on CBS Sports Network. Up next, it's Inside College Basketball, followed by our second semifinal tonight, featuring the California Golden Bears and the UTEP Miners. For Dave Miller and our entire crew, I'm Chris Sylvester saying so long from the SoCal Challenge. We'll see you in half an hour for the Miners and the Golden Bears.
Welcome inside our New York studios. Fellas, check your pulse. Where would you rather be at 12:40 a.m. Eastern Time? Holiday week. It's been phenomenal here on CBS Sports tonight. GP over here, Steve Lapis, Roy Hibbert. I'm Brent Stover. 80-77. Roy, I'll tell you, Tulane made it interesting. Had a shot to send this thing to overtime there at the end.
You know, for a while there, I felt like the basketball gods were not in their favor. You know, and Bradley really took the space. In a 4-minute stretch right here, let me see, I wrote this down. Tulane